Well, welcome back, class. This is part C of identity theft, prevent credit identity. We're looking at this next part. We'll be looking at protecting your identity, as we did a little bit in part B. But let's look a little bit about shopping online, which is another concern about identity theft. In what you see is, nowadays we can order products from around the world, right? I mean, it's just the way, how we live today. We can easily research items and compare prices. We can look at what we need at home, and we can look at it at any time we want, 24/7. The risk with that is that, of course, personal information, including credit card numbers, social security numbers, financial records, and bank numbers can be used. And those things you have to be careful with. One scam is you never, when they request a social security number, that you don't give them a social security number, because there's no place for buying anything that you need your social security number online. Most of the time, credit cards is the preferred way, and sometimes the best thing to do is get a one-time credit charge. Your bank sometimes will give you a number for one-time charge too as well. Or if you do your homework, find places that are secure places that you can do business with. Know if it's a real deal. Be careful. Know what the price includes, the delivery time, warranty information, return policies. Look for those things. Look for clues on the browser. Make sure it's HTTPS or SHTTPS. Indicates that it's a secure site. And you want to use a credit card the safest way, because the person has the legal rights to dispute charges if something is charged on there that you don't agree with. But you need to make sure you check your statements when you get that, and make sure the charges are correct too as well, because many times what's as bad is you do shop online and you do a business with some places that don't tell you that in doing business with them they charge you a membership fee, or a monthly membership fee, or they will tell you that free, you got to pay for the postage, which is $2.50, and what happens is that the next order you have to pay for, and they already have your credit, and they start charging you, and you have to try to stop it. Systems for escrow systems is where, like PayPal, for example, where basically independent place will hold your money, and until you receive it and give the okay to release the money, is one of the safer ways to do things online too as well. Keep proof handy. Make sure you print and file information in case needed later. When you buy things online, things like, for example, places that are very, very well known, QVC, Amazon, those places has been in business for some time, and they really take care of their customers, and they make sure everything is safe. Versus you get some other places like you go, these info commercials you go to, be very leery about when you give up information to those kind of companies. You really don't know how they protect your information once you give it to them. You may, a lot of times, like I told you before, you can ask your bank. Some banks will give you what they call a substitute or a single-use card number when you want to buy something online or involved with something like that, where that number is only used one time. They can't charge against it any time after that. Make sure you understand the scoop on the seller. Make sure that you look for a complaint number. If there are any complaints against it, look at the Better Business Bureau. You want to protect your information that you give these places. Computer safety is another thing you have to take a look at work or at home, and that's your password protected. Make sure you really don't want strangers playing or working or being on your computer. It doesn't take long to get the information you need off your computer, and most people, the computer now is part of their individual information now. And whenever you decide to trade up or sell or get rid of your PC, you want to make sure you wipe the data disk. A lot of businesses, when they get rid of their drive, some will pull the drive out. They won't allow their drive to be out. they take the drive right out and destroy it. Other means are available to make sure you erase all the information on the drive itself. But there's another way in which, you call dumpster divers. You have people that going through at hard drives and pulling the hard drives out and looking through and trying to find information that you have. Those things you have to be leery about and watch for. So what to do if you are part of identity theft? Well, a couple of things. You want to right away write ASAP on this. You want to make sure you keep record of the phone calls, correspondence you have with agencies you talk to, your credit card bureau, the credit bureaus. You want to make sure you request a fraud alert, and basically when you do that, the letter you follow up with a certified letter, and this protects you when you go about making the steps that you do. You want to make sure you close all accounts which has been tampered with. Most of the time, credit cards and debit cards will tell you that the best thing to do is cancel that card out, cancel that number out. They reissue the card with a new number, separate information, so that they can't use it again. Happened to me when I was in Brazil. I used my ATM card several times at this bank to get cash out, and luckily when I left the country, I left a note. I called up the credit card company and says, I'm going to be out of country for these 3 weeks, starting here, ending there. And when I got back 2 weeks later, I got a call saying there is someone using your debit card and your PIN at this bank and withdraw several amounts. The bank issued okay on it, but luckily I took the call and I canceled those things right away. I got my money back into my account within about 3 days, but I had to cancel my debit card and wait for a week to get that. You want to make sure you file a police report. Now most police departments have their own division that handles this now, and of course you want to make sure that you file a complaint with the Federal Trade Commission. That protects you too as well. All these things are a way in which you protect yourself. The things you need to keep in mind also with your credit card liability is the Truth in Lending Act limits the unauthorized charges up to $50 per card with your credit card. The thing is, they must receive a letter or a correspondence from you or a telephone call within 60 days, the first billing containing the error. You also understand too, after 90 days, if you don't resolve it within 90 days, then it goes to another step. But most of the time, you'll find credit cards companies will act upon it within a 5-day period. As a matter of fact, 3 days anymore. They act on it very quickly because they're concerned about the money as well. If you look at the areas when you talk about using your ATM and debit cards, a little bit different set of rules on that, even though those are going to change here probably in a very short period of time, hopefully anyway. First of all, within 2 days, if you don't report it within 2 days, you have to report something going on with your debit card within 2 days. $50, the max you can be charged is $50. If you wait 60 days, you could be you could be held up to $500 on the bill, and if you go past 60 days, you could be liable for everything on the card that's used. So another thing to be careful about with your debit card and keep track of those statements. You need to make sure you report a loss, call the financial institution as soon as possible, and then follow up in writing just for your own protection, and make sure you act upon it and not let that go. And I told you before, you'll get new bank numbers, new personal information numbers, and passwords. All those things has to be done. That makes sure that you're protected. The next thing you look at your checks. You want to make sure that if it's a problem with the check, you want to stop the payment. You want to make sure you notify the check verification service. And most states hold, and Arizona is one of those states that holds a financial institution responsible for losses on forged checks. But it's still your responsibility to prove that and all that possibility. And in the end, with identity theft, you want to stay alert, be careful, and be smart, and be very alert with your credit records for your own personal reason, but also if you're involved with a business as well, and if you're an employee for a business, you want to make sure they protect those records that you have for that. Okay, and that's the end of identity theft. Thanks a lot. See you later.